Hello Astro Kids and welcome back to my channel. This is the 100 subscribers special. Let's give a big congratulations to Graciela. So starting off looking at your chart, there is a lot of earth energy going on. Also something that is very noticeable is that the energy here is very extroverted as well. And so we start off with a Pisces ascendant. You are on the cusp, and so there is some Aquarius energy in there as well. You are on the very first degrees of Pisces. And so what happens is, this is mostly Pisces, but this Aquarian mix in here makes it feel very unique and very eccentric in the way that you present yourself, the way that you give off a first impression. And so this is your rising sign or your ascendant. So this is the image that you are projecting. This is the first impression that you're giving off to others. And this is in Pisces for the most part. So this is very compassionate, very gentle, very empathetic. You are very aware of others' emotions and pick up on different energies in your environment. You are very intuitive. Some might call you quiet or reserved, as you tend to go in to your intuition. Now with your chart, you do show up as extroverted as well. So that could definitely throw off this immediate first impression. But this is the very first impression that you give off. This also can make you very dreamlike, imaginative, creative. Also very spiritual. And this energy is very relatable for me, as I also have a Pisces ascendant. Now, with this energy, it's important to be cautious because of your awareness. You are able to pick up on others' emotions and feelings and also take on those feelings. And so it's important to surround yourself in a positive space. And so next, as we move on in your chart, Saturn is in Pisces in the first house. And Saturn is an outer planet. And so this is very focused on lessons in your life. And Saturn is a planet of rules, karma, and restrictions. And it also deals with what you are most serious about or most driven towards. So what are you most serious about? Where do your responsibilities lie? And this is in Pisces in the first house. And the first house deals with self. This is your identity. This is the way that you view yourself. And so here, there is a big focus and responsibility on this ability to see in a way that others cannot. This ability to feel and pick up with these extrasensory perceptions. This ability to feel other people's feelings and to be selfless and compassionate and to help others is very strong and serious in your chart. This also could be related to a seriousness as far as escapism. So your ability to escape this physical realm, which could show up in positive ways as well as negative ways. This could show up as this ability to connect with a higher power, so being very spiritual, being very aware. And then the other side of it is sort of escaping to harmful or dangerous habits that alter your state of consciousness. And so there is this serious drive to help others. There's this serious drive to escape this physical realm. There's this serious drive to use these extra senses that you have. This serious drive to be creative, adaptable. And so to see from this different perspective than from what others may be able to see. Now, that would kind of be the positive way of seeing this Saturn and Pisces. This would make you a natural born healer. So whatever way that means to you, healing and helping out others. Now, if we look at this as far as blocks and karma, this is sort of the challenging component of this Saturn and Pisces. And this really comes down to having healthy boundaries, to having that stability, that groundedness, that practical, so that ability to come back to this physical world. And a lot of it is going to do with your ability to be compassionate and to help others. There's this generous nature to Pisces, and so it's important to form boundaries and to know when it's time to stop making sacrifices and to really focus on helping yourself, on loving yourself, of knowing your own self-worth. So not allowing others to completely take advantage of this generous, compassionate nature that you have. This is probably one of my favorite charts because I have that Pisces ascendant. So to see you have this Pisces first house, this is incredible energy. This is awesome energy for helping others, for really diving deep into how the mind works and the psychology of others. And so you are a natural healer. So this is an amazing gift to have and use. And if we move ahead in the chart, you have second house in Aries. And the second house is the foundation. This is where you're getting your physical resources from, your finances, security, comfort, safety. This is also dealing with the things that you love and value the most. So what is of the most importance to you? And this being an Aries is showing up as valuing this ability to take initiative, to take action, to go after what it is that is most passionate to you. What are you most energetic about, excited about, wanting to start up, wanting to start to take action on? So these types of things are going to be the things that you love and value the most. And so this is a really great placement to have. This really gives you the energy, the passion, the vitality to really go after the resources that you need to build a solid, healthy foundation to work from. And the cool thing is that this house is also in Taurus. And so here you can also build and create. This could definitely make you a great business person, able to attract and manifest the things that you want very, very quickly and easily. So you are very good with building and creating that foundation that you want. Now, if we continue, the third house is also in Taurus, and this is also a really great placement for business. The third house deals with networking, communication, short distance travel, and learning new things, learning new skills in your environment. And so with this in Taurus, Taurus is a very physical, stable, determined sign. And so here this gives you the natural tools to build and associate with others, to share in your creative ideas and talents, and to pick up new skills to help you create and build and shape what you want your business or even other aspects of your life to look like. Also with this in Taurus, however, there may be a slower approach. And so as far as learning and networking, now this gives you a very common sense approach though, because this means that you don't have to rush to get to the details, the information. You can kind of take your time and actually absorb all of the information that's coming through. So this may be an area that is a bit slow paced, but this is overall a very great placement for business. This gives you that slow and steady pace to digest all the information that's coming through. Now, if we continue in your chart, you have the fourth house cusp, also known as the bottom of the sky, the IC, or the hidden inner self. And this is placed in Gemini, which puts the house of home, family, the past, sentimental attachments, emotional connection. This puts this house in Gemini, which Gemini itself deals with close connections through communication. And so when it comes to family or your connection to home, to your roots, there is this feeling of nostalgia around connecting through conversation, learning, adapting, sort of just keeping a lighthearted, open-minded environment where people are just free to share their thoughts, to joke around, to have a good time. There's this very emotional connection when it comes to just having conversation. And this could show up as having parents or family roots that have a very lighthearted energy, very positive, upbeat, very playful, creative, talkative. This energy is very bubbly and fun, sort of looking at the lighter side of life. There's this energy around this idea of sort of talking, learning, having fun, having a light heart, about the situation, the environment that you're in. As far as your family roots, there's also this feeling of intelligence, like the people in your family that you grew up around, very quick at picking up on information and details and sort of learning new skills and having different interests. There is this very quick and light intelligence that is there as well. Also, to get into the negative side of Gemini, because this can come up as well, is sort of this feeling of a lot of scattered energy in the home. Maybe it was a very unstable environment, a lot of changing and moving around, maybe moving to different locations. And this environment that you grew up in, that you were raised in, this really can have an impact emotionally on you as well, how you are emotionally reacting to your own environment. This influence of parents or the home or the family roots, of sort of going about things logically, trying to get to the root of the problem, to address the issue logically as we are dealing with Gemini. This feeling of going about things emotionally from the mind versus actually feeling the emotions and going about it that way. So there's this very logical feeling here. There's also sort of a feeling of wanting to deal with emotions from a lighthearted place, not wanting to go too deep or get too lost in the feelings. There is this feeling of just wanting to brush the surface, just wanting to focus on the positive emotions, just wanting to keep it lighthearted. And the extreme of this is that this can really scatter your feelings. This could bring you to a place where it's almost as if you don't understand your feelings, or you're feeling multiple things at once. Sort of this misunderstanding of how to be in your feelings, how to look at them emotionally. Like, there can be a lot going on around that. There can be a lot of anxiety or excitability around your feelings as well. A lot of jittery, high energy around your feelings. And this is the very extreme of this energy. Now, next, that brings us to the 5th house in Cancer. And the 5th house deals with the things that bring you pleasure, the things that excite you, fun, humor, the things that you love to do, the things that really fulfill you, bring enjoyment into your life. This house also deals with children, with sex, with romance. This is really a place of pleasure and fun and excitement. This is really where you start to come to life. Now, this is great energy, having this 5th house in Cancer. This is really not a selfish placement at all. This is really looking at your happiness, your joy, your pleasure is really in nurturing and helping others. Now, I think as great as this energy is, this is really a challenging placement because this is showing up as your joy, your fulfillment, really being in family and in nurturing others. And the big problem here is then how do you nurture yourself? How do you find joy and fulfillment in really taking care of yourself? So this very motherly, nurturing energy is great, but then I think what's really important for you then is making sure that your needs and your emotional core is really fulfilled and happy as well. So really focusing on your own happiness and really loving and nurturing yourself. That is really where you really need to focus on. And again, we're kind of seeing the same theme as when we were looking at Saturn and Pisces, of this great healing energy of wanting to help and really take care of others. But then that really comes down to how do you take care of yourself? And so I think that is something in your life overall that is really important for you to focus on, is really taking care and maintaining your own happiness and really loving and nurturing yourself first. And then once you have done that, then you can really go out and do these works that help fulfill that sense of joy and happiness, and then helping to nurture others. So I think it really comes down to you have to heal yourself first, and then you can heal others. But really, there is this strong passion in this peacefulness, this calmness, this deep emotional state, this gentleness, this nurturing, this tenderness. And so really with this energy, there is not really a lot of excitement or stimulation needed here. So there's not really a huge desire or need to have fun, to do exciting things. Really, this Cancer energy is in its own shell of comfort and safety here. And so really where the excitement and the joy comes in is then helping and nurturing others. And next, that takes us to 6th house and Leo. And the 6th house deals with work and responsibility and how can you serve others and how can you be practical and focus on the details and keep things organized. This also deals with health. How is your health standing? So this really focuses on these very serious physical routine type of things in your life. So really the routines, the responsibilities, the things that ultimately need to get done. And really this is a interesting place to have this 6th house. This really gives you the passion, the stamina, the drive to really get things done and to focus in on things. And this can also be a challenging placement because really with Leo, the focus is on where's the pleasure, where's the excitement, where's the fun. And this is a very bland house that Leo is placed in dealing with everyday routines, responsibilities, service to others, practicality. And so what I would say for you is that normal work settings, like an office, is likely not to bring any kind of fulfillment to you. With this 6th house in Leo, there really needs to be something exciting, adventurous, glamorous, something that really stands out about the work environment that you are in. And so with this, you will be very responsible. You will be very practical in the way that you work. But it must be something that really stands out, something that is really exciting, that really has something interesting to it. This is a really great placement for some sort of performer or entertainer, or for someone who just really stands out in a big way. Acting, singing, public speaking, a comedian, some sort of show or performance in the line of work, something that is adventurous or exciting or full of life in some sort of way. The boring, everyday routine of work does not fit this placement. And so we had started this talking about how you have a Pisces ascendant. The descendant would be the opposite of that, which is always opposite the sign. And so you have a Virgo descendant, and this is looking at marriage partners or long-term partnerships. This does set us up for the relationship house and really for the way that you view others versus the way that you view yourself. And Graciela, I'm not sure if you are currently in a serious relationship or not, but this really shows up as a marriage partner who is stable, practical, well-grounded, responsible, someone who can really ground and support you in a relationship, and really someone who is very good at being detailed, organized, practical. They have these physical, realistic ways of approaching life. And what's really interesting here is that your sun is here in the 7th house in Virgo. So something that I think that you will really find is that ultimately this partner for you will bring out who you are in them. So this person will really show up as a reflection for you. And now that does take us to your sun. And what we tend to find in astrology is when the sun is in the 7th house, there is really not a huge focus on your ego, your pride, the way that you express yourself. Really, for you, the focus is on relationships. How are others expressing themselves? How are others showing up? So there is this huge lack in ego. There is not a very big ego that is here. Really, your expression, your focus comes in relationships and how you are interacting with others. And having the sun in Virgo, the sun shows up as your actions, the way that you express yourself. And so with this, you are very practical, very detailed, very analytical, able to break things down and really observe them. You have this practical approach to life. Very responsible. Your ruling planet is Mercury, so there is this cleverness, this swiftness in your intelligence, the way that you are able to sort of observe and analyze things, and really the way that you serve others, the way that you put things together. This comes off as very organized, very detailed, and this can also come off as talkative. Now, not quite as talkative as Gemini, as this is Earth that we are dealing with. So this is more so being practical and putting things into action, really taking that common sense, well-grounded approach versus being in the head and the thoughts like Gemini. So this is a different energy than Gemini. However, this is that completion of that Gemini energy, of actually taking those thoughts and those ideas and putting it into something that is practical, into something that is realistic.